Round tones. Welcome, welcome to Practical Parenting. We're going to begin with a song. Not right. This is the online forum where we try to discuss everything related to parenting and education and bringing up kids, and so welcome. Well, welcome. It's me and Yanka. And today we have a special guest. Milan is with us. He's joining us so that we can get a nice little insight. I've just... Can you check my mic's on? I've just leaned on my microphone.
How do I know? Yeah, it's on.
It's on.
Yeah, it says on.
It
says on. You don't trust me.
Come on. No, you're right. You're absolutely... I don't trust you because you just pulled the camera over when you did that. Yeah.
Sorry, I need to stick this cable under my butt.
You're sticking it up your ass.
Otherwise it moves.
You just moved the camera.
Sorry. Cable's not long enough. It's not my fault.
What?
It's the cable's fault.
Maybe you moved the camera into the right position, actually.
See? It just needs women's touch. Woman's touch.
A woman's touch. A woman's work is never done.
Yes. A touch of a woman's butt.
So I can't
and everything's
lean.
Fine.
I can't lean back. I wanted to lean back, but I can't because I'm leaning on the switch. It's a new thing with 3 people, right? When we've got 3 people, it's going to be different, isn't it? So,
yes.
So there we go.
I'm very sure.
It is today because I kind of have this advantage because English is my first language, right?
Yes.
So we're doing this in English. So I've kind of got an advantage with that. And Yanka has studied languages. So
yes.
She's got an advantage with that.
Yes.
Milan over
I have a disadvantage.
Just a big disadvantage.
English is my 99th language.
Okay. Your microphone is there.
Okay.
Right, so we
I need to catch it.
You can't play with it because it'll go. No, you can't play with it. No, rules of the microphones. Number 1.
Don't touch him.
No touchy. No touchy.
Sit on your hands.
No touchy.
Like at school. Yeah. Hands behind your back.
Because we don't have 3 headsets that are the same, and it's all a big experiment, right? Because we're going to have some other guests on in the future, some digitally through Skype, I think, and some we're just going to drag to the balcony here, kicking and screaming, and we're going to force them to answer questions. If not, we will brand them with hot irons.
Okay.
And
Can we talk about something that is connected to parenting?
Well, why would we want to do that? Why would we want to do that? How does it feel to be on the balcony?
Yeah, very nice view from this balcony.
Yeah, if you look in the window that's there, you get to see kind of in sort of 3D.
Yeah, some virtual reality.
3D reflection of the view behind. Yeah.
Yeah, you get an idea of what you can't see because you're facing the wrong way.
The neighbors are cooking something very nice because of good smell.
Again, they did the same thing at lunchtime today. I got out and it smelled like sausages roasting on the fire. It's really
sausages roasting
nice. I was drooling out of the balcony.
You were drooling out. What a wonderful sight.
Yeah, I know it was.
Sight.
That's why we had bacon for lunch today.
I still have to eat my lunch.
Yes.
It's just sitting waiting for me in the kitchen.
Yes.
Right. You want us to do something constructive today?
Yes, I would like to do us.
Us? I'd like to do us.
I would like us to do something constructive today.
Okay.
And get to
things.
Do you
want to lead the discussion then?
Well, I think you have more things prepared than me. I only have one thing.
I would have had more things prepared if I
had time.
If I had prepared them.
Okay, so can you tell us, darling?
Me?
Yes.
What we're going to do?
What we're going to do?
I'll just explain to everybody. You missed it. Were you not listening?
Do you have a wee topic there for us?
You can't use words like that. He doesn't know what that means.
Do you have a little topic for us?
Little topic. Well, you mean kind of an introduction topic, rather than go straight into the questions?
Yes.
An introduction topic.
Okay.
There's a couple of things that I've made notes about during the day, right? Related to parenting. and somewhere on the internet, Western IQs, according to a website called pri.org. I have no idea who they are, where they are, or what they do. But
Okay. Or how credible they are,
how credible
or
they are.
anything,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it could be,
Complete.
3 giraffes in a tree somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Western IQ has dropped by 14 points in the last century.
Study says.
Study says, yeah. Western IQ has dropped by 14 points. I mean, that's, and I was wondering if there's any validity, if they were just saying that, or is there something we're missing? Do we, with all the smart technology, have we really become smarter, or have we become perhaps?
Well, did they quote any studies?
Oh yeah, I went to the study.
Did
I looked through the study,
Mhm.
and what it blah 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 blah. Long story short, right? At the bottom of the article, it says the reason why IQ has dropped is because intelligent women are not having kids. That's what it says at the bottom of the article.
Intelligent women are not having kids.
Yeah, it says they're focusing on work.
I know at
And
least one intelligent woman
Don't
who
be only
has
one.
at least 3 kids.
And the others? Well, I don't know. I mean, how can you judge intelligence in
Exactly.
that kind of sense, right?
You
'Cause you
can't.
could have an extremely intelligent person who doesn't focus on the education and needs of their kids. They could be very good at their job, right? They could be the CEO of a company or something, right?
There are different
just
kinds
not
of
have time.
intelligence, right? There's not just IQ. There's AQ. There's EQ.
BQ, CQ, DQ.
No, there's EQ,
Thank
for
you.
example. How about emotional intelligence, right?
How about it?
How about it?
How about
What about the women with that?
with what?
Do they have children?
With
When
fat.
you say, I said that. When you say intelligence,
Yeah.
what type of intelligence do you mean? You know?
Well, it's okay. Intelligence is relative. Fair enough, right? Like
What it is, an intelligence.
yeah.
What is
it to-
intelligence?
What is it? to
That
be
is the first
British
basic
intelligence?
MI5.
That was a joke in the Cars movie.
Was it?
The Cars 2, yeah.
Cars 2. What?
There was Mater, and they asked him British intelligence, and he said no, average intelligence.
That's not really very funny. So.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I don't know. And I was thinking, like, are we missing something in society? Like, do we think we're getting smart? When you see videos on the internet of the Black Friday sales in the United States, where everyone is fighting with each other to get in the shop so they can pick up something that they don't actually really need. I mean, that's not a good sign.
It's
Right?
not.
That's not a good sign.
No.
Now, we've only been on this
Balcony.
balcony. Oh, look. Longer, longest. Oh, it's
Yes.
my teacher's thing, right? In terms of life experience, right?
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking about. Longest.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but you win, right? Because you have more life experience than we have. And what do you think over the last sort of 10, 15, 20 years? Do you think there's been a visible increase or decrease in sort of intelligence averagely for people?
We didn't answer the first elementary question. What do you mean in word intelligence?
Intelligence. That's
Yes.
great, because didn't I say yesterday we need to define our terms?
Yes, you did.
We need to define our terms. So,
What is intelligence?
well, intelligence is relative, isn't it? I mean, it requires a different kind of intelligence to, say, work in the garden with the flowers and the plants, as it does to fix an electrical system, right?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
So there's two, and you can be very good at one thing, and just completely useless at something else. You can probably think of an example of that.
Yes.
Well, look, I'm pretty good with learning the technical stuff. Not always great, but put me in a kitchen.
There you go.
And I'll make a fresh salad. Cold meat,
Yes.
anybody?
Yes. But is that intelligence or is that experience? You don't have to practice. That doesn't have to be
Can you have intelligence
intelligence
without experience? I don't. think so. I don't know. Hard choice. Hard choice.
You know.
Somebody's phone is ringing. There we go.
It's not mine.
Right. It's not yours. Yeah, it must be yours. It's okay. Right.
It's no problem.
It's no problem.
So, what is intelligence?
Please turn off all mobile
Or
phones.
intellect.
Intellect. I don't know. Anyway, I thought the study was a bit ridiculous because it just said that it blamed intelligent women for IQ dropping. I mean, isn't that contradictory? Isn't that ridiculous? We're gonna have to move the phone off of here because it's on the same thing as that. And it'll cause that to vibrate.
Probably
right?
vibrates the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna have to move that. Right.
That's cool.
Okay. Step by step, we'll get things done. So that was something that I noticed. Then, connected with that, did you know that? Do you know what a golem is?
Yes,
What is it?
Golem. It's
Golem.
it's like artificial intelligence guy, isn't it? It's like a
What?
monster made out of clay. It's isn't it it's kind of mythology. I'm not sure what type of
I
mythology
thought it was a
is,
character
but-
in Lord of the Rings. Isn't the golem a character in Lord of the
Oh,
Rings?
Golem! That one.
No, it's the same word. I thought it was the same word. Is it the same word? I don't know. Anyway.
Because Golem, as Golem,
Okay, you know about this stuff.
is
Wow.
it's like a clay monster that's brought to life. So it's
Yeah.
like a big giant thing.
Okay.
It was in a traditional movie. No, it was like in a traditional Czechoslovakian movie or something. Golem.
Yes, I know Golem. This is
Yeah.
glue biorobots.
Yeah. It's like a
Glue slave
yeah.
for someone who has a special stone.
You have a special stone and you insert it into the clay figure and it comes to
In the
life.
third eye.
Yeah. Yeah. It's some kind of mythology, old mythology, but
Okay, because related to IQ and intelligence, I discovered two scientific theories today. right?
Okay.
Uncovered, refreshed one of them. But anyway, here we go. The Golem effect. The Golem effect is a psychological phenomena in which lower expectations placed upon individuals lead to poorer performance
yes.
of those individuals. So if people around about you in authority, parents, for example, have low expectations for your achievement, you will actually perform lower.
Yes, and that's very well known. I mean, that's what we talked about a few days ago when we said about that the first kids, that the oldest kids are usually high achievers because the expectations of parents are so much more higher. On the kids,
Then by the
right?
third kid, they've got no expectations.
And the third
at all.
kid just slides by. Yeah, they can do whatever they want, and they're like, hey, they're very happy with
It
themselves.
could also be that the parents are tired because they put so much energy into the first kids.
They're not tired because they put too much energy into the first kid. It's I think that they learn, and by the time they have the third kid, they know that they learn how to have realistic expectations. I
Yeah.
think that's from my point of view. I think that's
Realistic being lower still. They're not
Yes.
having- Okay, because there's an opposite effect, right? There's an opposite effect. The Pygmalion effect.
Pygmalion
And
effect.
we know that, and we know that, don't we? We know that word, Pygmalion, because
Yes.
George Bernard Shaw wrote the play,
Yes.
right? And he had very, very specific he had very specific opinion about how society should be.
Now,
and
for
about the
those who
different
don't know about
classes.
Pygmalion, Pygmalion is the play that was the inspiration for the musical My Fair Lady, so that you know which story we're talking about.
Do you know My Fair Lady?
No.
It's about the
It's on in the local opera house here.
yeah, is it?
For every now and then.
It's
they do
about
it.
two people who place a bet. One of them is a linguist, and he bets that he can take a poor person from a low social class and teach that person to speak so well so that everybody else will believe that she is from a high social class.
Mhm.
And they pick this flower selling lady, right? And they make her into he makes her into a like a high society
Yeah, like a
person.
princess
Yes.
or something like that.
Yes, yes.
The
And-
elocution.
And then in the end, they take her to a party, and that's the test. And if anyone in the party has any suspicion that she's from a lower class, then the guy would have lost. And if not, then he wins, right?
And it's a musical, and it's full of song and dance.
Yes. And it's got
And
that
should
girl,
watch it
the
again.
actress,
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey
Yes.
Hepburn, beautiful actress, and I think the male lead was Rex Harrison. Although I might have got that name wrong, I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody can put it in the
Yes.
chat.
What was his name in the movie?
Professor
Professor Higgins.
Professor Higgins.
Poor Professor Higgins. Yes.
What were the songs? Can you remember any of the songs?
Yes.
What were the songs? Go on. Give us a little
Oh, wouldn't it be
Be
lovely?
Ah,
All I want is a room somewhere
far away
from the cold night air.
Dun,
With
dun,
one
dun, dun,
enormous
dun,
chair.
dun.
Oh, wouldn't it be lovely?
Is it lovely at the end?
Lovely.
See what you've missed out on,
Mhm.
right? You see
Ah.
what we've missed out. You've
We
missed
should-
I'm
out.
very sorry. I'm a
we should do-
visitor from completely other
Planet.
galaxy.
Planet, yeah.
We should make a movie night. We should invite you for a movie night.
Movie night. Oh no, we don't want to force anyone to watch the stuff that
Okay.
we watch. Okay, it's very. But we are very musically orientated.
Yes.
Oriental.
We actually have a musical child who
Zora
Do
Zora sometimes sings things that are happening.
Will was singing instructions to Zora the other day.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So they think the world is a musical, which is okay for now.
Yes.
Right? It's a bit difficult when they go to the shop and they start singing about what they want.
Imagine when they start dating. They're gonna be like serenading there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I mean, other people might think they're completely insane, but I like it.
well.
Anyway, so it became My Fair Lady. Pygmalion, the original play, became My Fair Lady, the film, well known. And
So what's the Pygmalion effect then?
well, we talked about the Golem effect. The Golem effect is low expectations mean that your children don't perform.
Yes.
The Pygmalion effect is the opposite, whereby higher expectations lead to an increased performance.
Logically.
Logically. The effect is named after the Greek myth of Pygmalion, a sculptor who fell in love with the statue that he carved.
Oh,
There
okay.
we go. There's a nice historical
Oh,
reference.
that's why the play is called Pygmalion. All right, I didn't know that. That's very clever. Because Professor Higgins falls in love
with his subject.
his subject.
That's what she is in the
Yes,
film.
yes, with Miss Doolittle.
Doolittle. Is that her name?
Yes.
Eliza.
Eliza Doolittle.
Eliza
Yes.
Oh, a poor person called Doolittle.
Yes.
Oh my God, I never made that connection before. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Wow.
So basically, he falls in love with his creation. There you go.
Oh, there.
Connections.
Connections. Nice to make connections. So
Yes, but what you have to look at, right, is that often people whose parents have too high expectations, they often have psychological problems because they put, they set the standards so high that they themselves cannot achieve it. They basically do what their parents did to themselves, like we all do, right?
okay.
Inside.
Okay.
So your expectations about yourself become so high that when you don't achieve them, you become extremely frustrated, and they might be unrealistically high, right?
Doesn't that mean the frustration wears off on the kids as well?
And then, wait. First, I'm talking about what happens to the
Sorry.
adult
Sorry.
when the kid with the high expectations become the adult, and then you're just frustrated. You're just all the time you are not happy with your own performance because your own expectations of yourself are too high, right?
I'm not sure that my parents had high expectations for me, but I think I've got high expectations for myself.
I think your parents had very high expectations on you, no? I would think so. I don't know. You were their only
Oh.
child.
I
You
could- I
were
could be lying to myself.
you were their only child. You were something that they presented themselves with. Right?
Okay.
So you had to be.
Hi, Philip.
You had to be
Well, I had to-
super.
well, I had to. I had to be great.
You had to be great.
There was no choice because I was being shown off and presented. in
Exactly.
various
Exactly.
Situations.
So
Yeah, I got to run through that again in my own mind. and
they
think
might
about
not. They
that.
might not have done it consciously in an overt way,
Yeah.
right? But you might have felt it anyway, just by being the only child and knowing that you have to represent the family, basically.
Mhm. Okay.
You know.
Okay. Well, let's move on. Let's take the next step here. So, dutifully and quietly, Leanne has been hanging out here on the edge of the conversation, listening in, and hey, man, right back at you, right? So, how's Austria, by the way? I hope Austria's cool. Maybe you're probably not in Austria because you're following the F1 right now. I'm just talking to Philip, who's on the other side.
Hi, Philip.
Yeah. Doing great stuff with cameras. Need to ask him some questions.
Okay.
Right. So we wanna ask you a few questions about your experiences as a parent, and maybe get some advice from you. maybe about what we can expect in the future with our kids. So we were just talking about the Golem effect, parents having low expectations and the kids don't perform, and the Pygmalion effect, parents having high expectations and of the kids and wanting the kids to do great things. So what's your experience with this, both when you were growing up with your own parents and being a parent yourself?
Okay, firstly, I must say that I have only one child,
Mm-hmm.
former child, because she's now 24.
Success! Congratulations!
And she's alive now, still.
Still alive.
Which
And
which
you
is-
are still alive
yeah.
as well.
which,
Nobody
which,
died.
which are successes for both of us.
Yes.
And on Monday she graduated university, so
Wow, that's
Probably.
good.
for the first view
Fantastic.
I could see as a successful father.
Whoa.
That's good. That's
Yeah, I mean,
positive.
that-
The
that's-
first view.
Yeah.
That's what society considers as a success, basically, the graduation. Yeah.
But I must say that I had no expectations
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
to my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You have no expectations.
Okay.
Like my mother and my father had no expectations to me.
Okay.
Okay.
And probably, or it could be one of the very important
Connections.
thing or connections
Mm-hmm.
or cause
Mm-hmm.
why my daughter is alive still.
Okay.
Okay. So you mean you not putting her under too much pressure and having too many expectations was good, right? That's what you're saying.
But of course, it could be a mistake. But the real life in
Mhm.
our family
Mhm.
shows that it works,
Okay.
and that's all.
Okay, that's cool. That's good to know. So you basically took a little bit of a hands-off approach and let her develop in her own way.
From her 10 years, she has been living alone very often.
Okay.
Okay.
She was left alone
Hello.
very often.
Okay.
Okay.
Very often, and she had to take care about herself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What does that mean? Can you
That's
give
good.
us examples of what she had to do?
I was something like businessman,
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
so-called very important people
Uh-huh.
who thought that he was director of world,
Uh-huh.
and I
Common
had
problem.
no time for my child and for my family.
Okay.
So, and my wife was ill at that time.
Right.
Very serious illnesses occurred in our family.
But can I say, if you were working, you were still providing for your family, though, right? Because you were working, and the work was generating an income, and that was providing something.
Yes,
for your family.
of course, but without any personal care. It was only material care.
Yes, which is important as well, obviously.
Of course, but
Yes.
thanks of these circumstances, my daughter had to develop by her own way.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think that
Independence
there is
not a bad
I
thing.
think that's a-
independence, but some genes
Mhm.
are very important in behavior of humans.
Okay.
So when a child has good genes,
Genes.
genes,
Genes.
good
Okay.
genes,
Okay.
and a lot of freedom,
Mhm.
they are able to develop in the right direction.
Okay.
So, are you saying that it's not just the influence of the parents?
Yes.
It's not sweet. Well, it's not just the influence of the parents, but also there's some kind of genetic code that exists as well.
Genetic
that's
code
passed
or DNA
Like a
code or
predisposition.
on. Okay. So yeah, it's a classic nature versus nurture argument that some of the elements.
There's another one coming, guys. Okay? Okay. Help yourself.
Oh my gosh, there's just some
They're going to binge now.
on the muesli.
Yes. Yes,
Is
they've been
muesli's
deprived.
the muesli's been left on the kitchen table, right?
Yeah.
Mistake. Mistake, because number one, leaving the muesli on the kitchen table is a mistake, because number one, they can get at it themselves.
Mhm.
Number two, they're constantly reminded of it because they can see it, right? And there's not a number three. I haven't been able to come
Again.
up with
Again.
Again, there's not a number three. Okay.
Never
But-
mind.
But it's got to be put away because they will just consume only muesli, and I'm worried about that. Right,
Right.
right. Yeah, I'm not being controlling in any sense of the word. Right. Leaving kids alone. So, from the age of 10, your daughter was left to do a lot of things by herself, right?
yeah.
Okay. So does that mean does that mean in terms of things like cooking and stuff that she did that herself, or did she?
Of course.
Yeah, she cooked for herself. Okay. Wow. That's pretty cool. Right.
Cook, washing, cleaning.
Uh-huh.
That's a very good skill set,
Buying.
actually. I mean, we talked yesterday, or was it before yesterday, about the chores and how
Okay.
doing chores
Yeah, okay.
increases children's chance or probability of success in the future life.
Yeah, it's the
So
work
maybe
that they
this
do,
experience, this early experience with daily chores and the daily responsibilities, because you had to be responsible for these things,
Mhm.
created a very good ground for future success. So
Yeah,
that's good.
there's you can't really start them.
Let them to live.
Let
Yeah.
them live.
That's-
Let them
that's
live.
all.
That's
Live,
it.
exactly.
Yeah, don't get in.
Don't destroy their activity, their talents.
Yeah, get out of their way, basically. Get out of the kids' way. Let them live. Let them learn. Let them experience things. Now, here's a question related to that, right?
Mhm.
Yanka said the other day, it's time to let Will do some things for himself, right? Or even for us. And she said, now Will's 7 going on 8.
He's going to be 8
He's going
this
to be-
month.
he's going
In
to-
September, he's
okay,
8.
okay, he's going to be 8 in a month, right? And, excuse me, Will, what's the story?
It's either on the bench or in the cupboard.
It's in the kitchen. Well,
and have
you
a
have to go
look.
and look for it, mate.
Hunt.
Okay? Look for it. Observe.
Go for a sit-up hunt.
Okay, so, and Yanka said, I think we should let Will go to the shop and buy some things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of panicked about it a bit. The idea of my son, who will be 8,
Yes.
going by himself to the shop. I panicked, and I don't know if that was my initial reaction was panic, and now I'm wondering if there's something wrong with me because I panicked. 'Cause maybe I shouldn't have panicked. I don't
I
know.
think that you come from a different environment, maybe that we come from. But
Okay.
my brother was 6 years old. He was in the first class of his
Okay.
primary school, and
Okay.
he used to go to school by himself
Yeah.
on a city bus
Okay.
every day,
Okay.
right? When I was
Like
5,
almost everyone of us.
exactly. I didn't. I
From the
used to
age of
walk
6, yeah?
from the age of 6. I would walk to school with him,
Yeah.
obviously at the age of 6, not with my parents. When I was 5,
Mhm.
I used to go to the shop by myself,
Okay.
which was about as far as that shop around the corner over there. Only I had to cross a road to get there.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's that? 5 minutes walking.
So yeah, 5 minutes walking.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was 5. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm?
About the same age that Will started to go to the shop when we lived in Rastoka. Now, Rastoka was a tiny little village where you could basically see him and everybody knew him. So it
It's
was
one street basically. The
it
village
was-
is just one street.
yeah, and there were almost no cars, and it was a very kind of protected environment, really, wasn't it? Because the only thing.
Very specially protected.
The only thing that you
With
could be
very
worried about were
dangerous
dogs.
dogs.
Yes.
dogs, bears, and wild men, the like of which should have died out with the cavemen, but didn't.
Yeah.
But,
But I think he's perfectly ready and capable of going to the shop here by himself.
Yeah.
I think Zora would be actually.
'cause I was freaking out about that. I was thinking, should we get him a mobile phone and put an application in the mobile phone so that we know exactly where he is, just in case something happens? There's
We
all
never
that
had
stuff.
anything like that.
All that
Look,
stuff was
my
going through my
brother
head.
used to go out by himself
Hmm?
when he was 5 to play in front of the block of flats, right? And he wasn't allowed to go anywhere, only around the block of flats.
Mhm.
My mom said that one day she panicked completely because she couldn't find him anywhere. So she went out and she called for him and he wasn't there. And then he came back home like half an hour later and he was like, "Oh, just visiting my friend over there, in his block of flats." And my mom was like, grey hair, She was like, "Oh my God, I thought I've lost you." But kids did that all the time. We were out today at the kids' playground. There were kids Will's age there by themselves, playing at the
I can
playground.
confirm it. My daughter, for the second time, went to the school in first class, in the first year, and she was walking there alone
Yes.
in the center of Banska Bystrica, not in Rastoka.
Yeah.
How old
Kids
was
are
she?
perfectly capable. 6.
6.
6.
6. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Another example. My brother was. Wait. My sister was about 4 years.
Darling, we have an issue. It finished.
finished.
There's another one.
There's
on.
another one coming. Look.
There's another one on there.
So, my sister was 4.
Moon. Sorry,
You're
I was
right,
just doing. I was doing that for the people on the internet.
Okay. People on the internet. My sister was 4, and my brother must have been 7. No, 4.
4.
No, he must have been
4. Like
Seven.
Zora's age.
7 plus 3. Oh no, he was 10 years old. My brother was 10 years old when he was given the responsibility by my mother to take my younger sister to kindergarten and get her from kindergarten.
I see
home.
kids. I see really young kids who can't be any older than Will
Mhm.
walking together in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. I see them like
School
walking.
kids, yeah.
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 And these children are able to feel their own power.
Power,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it gives them
yeah.
They are
self-confidence.
so brave. They feel so brave
Yes.
and power and
Independent.
strong.
That's why I
independent.
think
Yeah.
that we should let him do
Yeah.
that. I mean, because we are homeschooling, I think that we should put some effort into this because when they go to school, it comes
Oh,
naturally that
but
they
I'm
go by themselves, But
I'm scared.
of course,
Right.
you're
I mean, I
scared.
feel like if I'd let him go, I'd be like. I'd be like hiding in
Creeping
the
behind him.
I'd be hiding in the bushes to see that he was okay.
Of course, everybody's
Right.
scared. All parents are panicking when their kids are going to school, for example, right? Because they're letting them go somewhere by themselves. But I think he has to experience the responsibility for his own being.
And we had
The problem is in me, I'm sure.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
and we had another very good agreement. My wife asked my daughter,
Yes.
please call me when you have a problem.
Yes.
When you are okay, I don't
Need
need
to know.
about you.
Okay. Okay. But,
That's all.
yeah,
That's good.
you see that's nice, but when you've got a problem, that's the time that you can't call, right? Because you've got a problem. See what I'm saying? Do you get it? Because you're saying, like, if everything, I totally agree. Like, if everything's okay, no need to call. But call me if there's a problem. But then you can't call because of the problem. Right?
Oh, you mean like your
Like
battery's flat, or somebody's clubbing you over the head, or
Well,
something?
yeah. Just say you climb up something and you fall down and you break something, and like you can't, right? You can't because of the problem. So I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that me personally, this is a bridge I have to cross.
You personally would say,
It's a bridge I
"Well,
have to
call
cross.
me every 5 minutes so that I know you're alive."
I'll be tracking him. I have a drone flying around with a camera on it. I'd be following him around. I'd have my kids and drones
No, you
following
have
him
to.
around.
You
with
know,
cameras.
technology has both sides.
Right.
Drone can give you an information about your children, but the same drone can give this information to many other
That's true.
persons too at the same time.
I think that
Issues.
not only that, you know, when he goes somewhere by himself, we said that feeling of power, that it gives them self-confidence because they can do something by themselves. But I think just as important is the knowledge that their parents trust them.
Yeah.
You know? So if he found out that you're creeping behind and trying to check on him, he would know that you don't trust him, and that would just
destroy his confidence.
completely for a while. So you just have to suck it up and trust him, and that's what's going to empower him to, you know, do things for himself, by himself.
Yeah, but the world's a rough place, right? So
And you have to count on the fact that he's going to break his leg sooner or later, or that he's going to get into
I
a
hope
fight, or, you know, things happen. And you can't prevent everything.
Okay.
It's like with the Nemo movie, right?
Or where they're overprotective of the kid.
I
right?
promised him that I'm not going to let anything happen to
Don't
him.
go here, don't go there, don't go out
Yeah.
into the ocean,
And then
don't go to the
and then
edge.
Dory said, "But that's silly because if nothing's ever going to happen to him, how is he ever going to live or learn or do anything, right?"
Wow. Okay.
I think children like to be like adults.
Yes.
So powerful, so independent.
And they
Yes.
should. Sorry, so I'm jumping into
Yeah.
what you're saying. I'm really sorry.
No problem.
We should give
He does
them.
that.
I do that a lot. I don't know. I've forgotten what I wanted to say. We should give them that opportunity as early as possible, so that they can realize what it's like essentially for adults. If we don't give them the freedom, then they don't know what it's like. And it's bad when the kid comes out of the home, gets in the car, gets driven to the gate of the school, gets out of the car, goes into the school, and doesn't have any experience in between. Right?
But then you see, school kids are by themselves for themselves at school, right? I mean, yes, there are teachers that they can go to if they have a problem, but generally they're fending for themselves.
They got to find their
Okay,
own
there's
way.
nobody that
Yeah.
can protect that. There's nobody biased that's going to protect them. So at least they have that experience. But I think when you're homeschooling, you have to kick your own arse to let them experience the freedom in a different way.
Okay. Yeah, that's very true. So let's go back to the general experience about being a parent. What were some of the hardest things for you that you experienced as you experienced and probably still experience about being a parent? What are the difficult things? What are the issues from your
The hardest
perspective?
thing for me was to control myself.
Okay, can you give us a kind of example of
Because
this?
my opinion is that our children know everything about us without any special kind of information,
Mhm.
speaking information or giving information.
Mhm.
They are always in a strong connection with us, in
Yeah.
invisible strong connection, and they know everything about us, everything,
Mhm.
even what we don't know about us, about ourselves.
Yes.
They
So-
know.
They have this
Yes.
automatic
So-
understanding.
Yeah, of course. There is something like fluidum
Yes.
or something like that, and
Okay.
the hardest task for us as parents is to control ourselves, to be honest, to be good, and in the right meaning of this word. And that's all.
Yes.
That's all our task. We don't need to educate them. We don't need to care about them. We need to care about ourselves.
That's a very good point, because that's actually the main point that I'm trying to, get
Right.
through to parents with what I'm beginning to do with my support
is that
group
like-
and the website.
Take care of yourself as
Yes,
a
to
parent.
to explain that as I said yesterday, you don't have to worry about the behavior of the kids. You don't have to change the behavior of the kids. What you have to do is you have to get into yourself, understand yourself, and work with yourself. And if you work with yourself and you do a good job, then the kids are just going to follow.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
A kind of lead by example principle.
Yes. Yes.
Something like that. Okay. So when your daughter was younger, did you worry at all about her future, her education, qualifications?
I don't interested in these things.
Okay.
There is not my job. There is the job of my daughter.
Yes.
Okay. And did she understand that?
Of course.
Of course. Okay. Okay. Is that something?
She is absolutely knowing everything.
I've met his daughter
Yes.
briefly. Very nice person. Very
Mhm.
forward. Very outgoing.
Very independent.
That's
Very
very good. That's very
independent,
good, because parents often try to push their children into something that the children don't want to be pushed to, whether they do it consciously or unconsciously.
Yeah.
But
But it would also be a mistake to give no guidance with no good examples, right? It would be a neglect, the other extreme, right?
Mhm.
The other extreme is neglect, where you're not only given neglect is like you're not only given the freedom, it's like you're just not ever there, right?
Mhm.
So, of course, the child then has to grow up quickly. There are many great examples in history. I recommend that people go and look at history of Abraham Lincoln, American president, and see the kind of situation that he grew up in, the experiences he had at a very young age, and how that shaped his life. Very interesting. Go and read a biography of the young Abraham Lincoln and those experiences. So I think that I'm worried about that. I worry about that. I mean, that's not a reflection of my kids. It's maybe he's laughing. He's laughing at me now.
I'm laughing because what is essential for your kids? What some Abraham Lincoln
Did
work
when
or
he was a
did.
kid. Yeah.
That's absolutely nonsense for them. And I'm sorry.
No,
that's my opinion.
No, it's okay. No, it's good.
But
It's good
I
to
have
say
a lot
that.
of bad examples from my own experience from my own life, because when I was when I did some mistake, my daughter repeated it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This is essential.
Yeah.
Again,
Okay.
like you said,
Yes.
we must control ourselves.
Yes.
We must do on ourselves
Yes.
if we want to improve the behavior of our children.
Yes. Yes.
That's all.
They're just reflecting, basically.
We don't need any theories. We don't need to know other persons, other examples from their lives.
Well, I think that the ideal situation is, don't try to control their future.
You think that's too much pink?
Don't stop it.
Sorry.
Don't neglect. Obviously, don't neglect them.
Pink.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
Sorry.
I saw it personally
They're talking about a
when I was coming.
person in neon pink socks
Neon and shoes and
shoes,
t-sh-
top,
t-
and everything.
t-shirt,
Basically,
t-shirt.
neon
Pink.
Anyway, the point is, I think the middle ground is, give them options. Don't force them into anything, but show them what's possible, because you can observe their talents, right? You can see they're quite strong in this, so I'll show them the options, and if they choose to pursue it, it's great for them. If they don't, well, whatever, they'll choose something else that they like, right?
I never made those connections between parents' mistakes and children's mistakes until very recently in my life. Yeah, and not just mistakes, but habits, actions, events.
Yes.
It was only a couple of years ago that I finally realized that I moved from one country to another country when I was quite young and settled down in another country. I wonder who else did that. Oh, my father did exactly the same
Didn't
thing.
his father do the same thing? I mean, didn't his father originally come from Scotland and move to New Zealand? No? Or was that his grandfather?
I don't know the family history, so
That's something at the back of my head,
questions that
but
still
maybe that's not true.
need to be answered. But maybe there's a long.
Line of moving.
Yeah, maybe there's just this historical pattern there. Basically, I don't know. I don't have enough information about that, but it would definitely be interesting to know
Yeah.
a little bit more about that. Wow. So, point. Yes.
But
okay.
but I remember,
Right.
not I remember the another idea came
Okay.
that all is very nice,
Mm-hmm.
but we had to set certain mountainous
Limits.
limits
Okay.
for
Yeah.
our daughter, because from time to time she wanted to do absolutely what she wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it was over.
Okay, over the top.
Over the limit. Too
Over.
much.
Too much.
Too much.
Yeah. So on the other side, she had to know that there is a limit.
Okay, yeah, that sounds logical.
Some essential rules must be set,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just might be setting too many rules personally, and I'm a bit worried about that. But anyway, moving on to another question. Do you think that you were a better parent than your parents were? Do you think that between your parents' generation and your generation that that things improved?
My parents were absolutely great because they didn't want anything from me.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna leave the conversation for 1 minute. Okay. You guys continue it. I'm gonna go get a light because I can see it's getting pretty dark. So
Okay.
I'll step over it.
You'll step over.
Okay. I'll be. You guys talk away.
Yes.
Do your thing, and hang this on here. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's gonna be okay.
I think so. Okay.
Right. So the question was about.
The expectations of your parents. Yeah. So they just let you do what?
like my expectations.
Yes.
They had no expectations.
Uh huh.
But but I knew what I had to do.
Yes. That's good. That's good. Is there anything that that you were not happy with when you looked back at your childhood? When you know, because when I look back at my childhood, it was, great. I think my parents have done a good job, but there are certain things that I decided I would never do with my kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, I don't know, when I misbehaved, I would get a way smack on the butt or something, and I just thought, okay, I'm not going to do this with my kids. Or there are little things, that I'm trying not to repeat, even though it's difficult because it's in there, and I have to control myself. Is there anything like that that you picked up from your parents that you tried not to do, or not really?
No, I have no bad experiences in my head from my childhood.
That's good.
I had really good parents. But again, I think that they were good practical examples for me, and that's all.
Well, that's the ideal situation, isn't it? That's the good situation to have, because you pick it up from the beginning.
I remember that I was, from time to time, I was surprised that my father didn't know something well known.
Okay. Yes.
About the universe, or about biology, or about some other things. What I knew at that time.
Yes.
But it didn't mean for me any problem.
Okay, wasn't negative.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that kids are generally getting smarter than their parents, and that's the way it should be, right? I mean, I think, I look at Will, and his memory is so much better than mine. That's one thing. He comes to me with these facts.
Okay, go.
And I don't know where he learned them or where he has them from, He came to me with some kind of random piece of science the other day. I can't remember what it was, but I looked at him and I was like, where do you even know that from? Right? And he was like, from a movie or blah, 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 blah. And it was like, I didn't even know that. Like that walrus with tusks.
Yeah. Well, here's my kind of both a regret and not a regret at the same time.
Yes.
Which is, what if the films that they watch were all educational?
I know,
Right?
I know, but then no, I don't think so. I know a family. It's a good friend of mine who.
Can you check my mic?
Who
again? I
have-
just leaned on it.
Yes, of course. Where is it? Here.
Round the back. Check it out. Check it out. Is it
It's
okay?
on. It's on.
I keep leaning on it.
And they do that. Okay.
Right.
They don't watch any like adventure movies. They don't.
Okay.
They only watch documentaries basically.
Okay.
And
cool.
if they watch any cartoons, it's all positive and very realistic stuff, right? No magic or
Okay.
whatever, no anything like that. But I personally, this might be coming, just from me and what I used to enjoy as a kid. But I loved books, and I
Okay.
loved stories, and I loved fiction, and I loved making my own fiction in my head. And I feel that if I didn't give that option to the kids, I might be taking something away from them. Okay.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, did you focus or care about what your daughter was watching or reading or was interested in? Did you guide her towards doing any sports activities or arts activities, or did you just let things flow?
From this point of view, I must say that my wife created all options for our daughter,
Okay.
for almost all kinds of sports.
Mm-hmm.
she was good at skiing, at gymnastics, and in dancing, in some hands activities.
Yes, craft.
In ballet.
Ballet.
Ballet. Or she was singing.
Mhm.
She was playing
Playing
flute.
flute. Wow.
She was playing flute.
Yes.
Oh, many various activities, and my job was to do driver
Okay.
for them
Yes.
Okay.
and to transport them from one point of some hobbies to another point of hobbies, and
Yes.
that was all my care
Yes. To drive them around.
to my daughter at that times.
I feel like there are too many options, right?
For
I mean,
kids.
September is
parents?
coming for
Okay.
kids. September is coming,
Right.
and I feel like, okay, if Will doesn't do this, he's going to miss out on something great. Okay,
Yeah.
and I've got like judo, tennis, playing piano, playing baseball. Zora, I want her to go dancing and to do athletics, and I'm like, well, they can't physically do everything, right? And they would be overwhelmed. And I'm thinking, and I'm like in panic.
Yeah.
It stresses me out because I feel the pressure of them not missing out on something essential, right?
Yeah.
I know that's silly. That's my silly thing that I have, right?
Yeah. I also find it crazy when I've got younger clients and I'm working with my clients,
Yeah.
and we're trying to find a time when we can meet.
Yeah.
And the kids are explaining to me what they do and what they have to do in the morning, and when they go to school, and then what they're doing after school, and the
Yeah.
activities. It's like, they've got no time.
Yeah, I know.
It's like everything is blocked and organized, and they really don't have any time. Oh, I got this on Monday, and I'm doing this on Tuesday, and I'm doing this on Wednesday, and I'm doing this on Thursday. And I'm not, and it's not a complaint about it. I'm just like amazed at how they're able to manage it and handle it, and I don't know if it's good or bad.
I have
no
another
idea.
friend. She's got
Okay.
2 kids, okay, and 1 baby, and she just constantly drives the kids around because each of them has 3 extracurricular activities. 2 or 3, you know.
Extra.
It kind of
yeah.
goes up and down.
Wow.
And I was trying to set up time for us to meet up, and she's like, okay, well, we can't do it on Monday because she's got that and he's got that, and we can't do it on Tuesday because they're doing that and they're doing that, and there was like no time.
Our solution was,
Yes.
in the end, Janka, my wife, found very special man, taxi driver.
Oh wow.
He is now like a member of our family,
Okay.
and he started to take our daughter and to replace me as a
Okay.
driver,
Okay.
because
Oh.
it was completely lost time for me,
Yes. Yes.
in my opinion, at the time,
Yes.
to work as a driver for my daughter.
Yes.
But he was lucky. He was lucky because it was
His job,
his job.
basically.
It was his paid job.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
he was.
He had a private driver. How
Yeah.
cool is that?
Well, it could be a job for someone, right? It could be.
Yeah.
It could be like
like a mission.
Yeah. Like
well, working with families, right?
Yeah, I
You
take
need
I
someone
take
to-
kids to extracurricular.
And cars
activities.
are always an issue as well,
Yeah.
right? Because they're always breaking down,
Yeah.
and there's always extra payments you have to make
Yeah.
on them and stuff. So
I
it's
imagine
not-
he
it's
didn't.
not ba-
I imagine he didn't have to have a child's car seat back then, right?
Yeah, well, maybe, but it's a job opportunities.
Yeah,
Places in
it's
the
good.
market, always
It's
looking
a really
for
good
market
idea.
opportunities.
It's,
Yeah,
Your
So
your wife.
a taxi driver
a
for
good
families
manager,
that are
obviously.
really busy. Wow, what's her job? She's a manager, right?
Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you
Good
go.
skill set.
Did it done.
Good
All
skill
right.
set for running
my
a
wife
family.
is a manager.
That's cool. That's cool. I wish I was more of
He
a
wants to manage
manager.
everything and everyone.
We've got one
You
manager.
know something about it?
Yes, we've got one manager in the family. I
Oh.
think if we had 2, there might be some violent clashes
Somebody
of wills.
else managing.
Yes.
But there is a very good movie, Czech movie about it. The
Which one?
History of Tiger.
Oh, I don't know it.
No,
I've
the
never seen
History of the
it.
Tigers, Czech movie, yeah?
Czech movie.
Wow.
Okay.
Last year was released.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay. That's
You
why I
very-
don't
very
know
nice.
about it. Okay.
You must
Uh-huh.
see it.
Okay.
Sometimes I refer to you as my manager, you know?
The Manager.
I have to check with
Oh my
the
gosh.
manager.
The Manager. Wow. What's the film called? The History of the Tiger.
Okay.
Check it out there if you get to this point in the video. History of the Tiger, Czech film. Okay, look for it. Wow, that's cool. Were there any conflicts in the teenage years? Because the people tend to... The teenage years are when kids should have that independence, but in general they don't. And so there tends to be a bit of a friction between the parents and the kids. So what about conflicts through the teenage years, say between your daughter and a friend she had, or whether she wanted more freedom than was good, or
Boyfriends.
yeah, or what about, boyfriends is a great topic.
Yeah.
Or even as you get older, things like maybe drinking alcohol, going to parties and stuff like that. Were they issues? Were they problems? Oh, Jessie,
Sorry, Jazzy's playing catch with herself.
by herself. Wow,
She's quite.
that's a new level.
Yeah, she's quite coordinated.
That's a new level.
So
She's more
she's better. She's better
more
than me.
coordinated than you are.
Yeah, I know. I can't do that with a ball.
Are you having fun there? Just kicking the ball around.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Would you like some help?
Trying to get it to.
I like her to
she's-
talk about parenting.
Parenting. She loves
Yeah.
her parents because parents
But
play
she doesn't-
catch.
She
Usually.
doesn't know them yet.
She does. Right. Now I've got the ball.
You've got the balls.
I've got the ball. This is getting ridiculous. What would you?
Jazzy,
Wait.
she wants you to
You
throw
took it out
it.
of my hand. You always try to take things out of my hands. Throw it. Catch.
Oh, great.
Oh, almost. Hey, live catch. Right. Okay. It's good. She's gonna hit. She's gonna hit
Yeah,
the
I know.
light.
Ooh,
That, or it's gonna go flying off the balcony. One of those two things.
super cool.
Right.
Jazzy, you have to reach it now.
So we were talking about.
Yeah, there were some
teenager.
problems at that time, but she had
Catch? No, don't touch it, sweetie. It's gonna be hot. Catch?
Okay. So let's.
she had enough freedom. It was the first point.
Okay.
So
Maybe too much.
no, I don't think.
We're not going to be able to do this with you playing catch. don't
I
think.
know. I'm going to sort that out. Okay. You two continue.
Right. You coming back?
Yeah.
Good. Don't leave me here alone.
Don't you worry about a thing.
Put this down here. Ka-choom. Right. Right. Thank goodness for that. She's gone. Right. Now we can. Right.
There were some problems. She drank some alcoholic drinks from time to time, and she was very angry with us in that period of time because. But
Because she wanted something and it didn't fit in with the vision that you had or what you knew was right or better.
the biggest
So-
problem was internet.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Internet.
She was hanging on the internet for 10 hours a day
Day.
or 10 hours a night.
Yes.
Doing
My sister did the same thing, and my mom was desperate. Yes.
Uh, that was the
Yeah.
real problem, I think,
Yeah.
and we simply turned off
The modem.
electricity, the modem or
Turned off the
something what it was possible, and
Okay,
she was
well.
very, very angry with us,
Yes.
and it was
Sure. Can you bring scissors for Zora as well?
This is going to be like a ridiculous parenting comment.
Yeah.
Is she going to be okay with the scissors?
Of course.
The big ones? The
Yes.
sharp ones?
Yes, yes. Sure. How do you think they made that paper art a few days ago? Those cutout.
I worry about everything. I worry.
You're a warrior.
Don't worry.
Don't-
2 years old son of my friend plays with X.
Axe?
Great and heavy X.
Yeah.
They had to, and the Numberland was just the song.
Okay.
Okay, super cool. Thank you, Will.
I watched a crazy video on the internet. There were two kids. It's like some kind of Asian, kids, obviously very poor, right? In the street, there's a video of two kids that were about 3 years old, both of them. There was a girl. It was a big fire. There was a big, like a wok or whatever it was, above the fire, right? And the 3-year-old girl had a ladle, and she was cooking. And then she took a bowl, and then she poured the boiling soup in the bowl, gave it to the boy. He ate it, she put it into hers, sat down next to him. She ate it. She was basically like taking care of another 3-year-old kid, right? There were 3. They were younger than Zora.
Panic.
I was like,
I would panic.
what the, and she kind of blew it and tasted it from the ladle, and she was like, okay, it's fine, well, we can eat. And kids are capable of so much more, right? She probably got burned a few times before then, I imagine, right? But yeah, they can do it. You just have to learn to trust them.
But it would be a good thing to see from time to time what
Oh yes, absolutely.
they do.
Yes. I need to be realistic.
Well, it's like that story about
Yes.
the families in where is it, Indonesia. They all live. Will, can we help you with anything?
They already had. Isn't it going to be my turn soon?
Maybe when we're finished, we'll come and we'll sit down and talk about it. Okay?
We'll be finishing soon. Well, we won't be able to do this for much longer, like another 2 hours, right?
Right. No, we're going fine. I what the, hit me. Thank you. Right. Families in Indonesia, the families that live in the top of the trees, the tribal families, right? They live at the top of trees.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? I've seen pictures on the internet, right? And they have kids.
I heard
that
about
they,
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
they give
The
birth and
tribes.
they have the kids at the top of the trees, and there's no barriers,
Yeah, I've heard
around
about
the
that.
side.
Yes.
and the kids never fall off.
Never.
Never.
Is that proven?
Really
According
not.
to interviews with the families, right?
Okay. Isn't that like, oh no, he didn't fall off. He was taken by the gods,
It was a giant bird.
right? It's not one of those things, right? Like
No. The kids just know. They know. They know instinctively.
oh, my wife had 12 children. Well, why are there only 4? Right?
Oops.
Yes, darling.
Mommy, you better know
All the people
Good.
downstairs have 25 kids, right? Because the kids just
Oh, you mean they're just collecting them? Yeah.
keep falling down. Right. Nonsense. Okay, so there are conflicts. How did you resolve the conflicts? We said that, like with the internet, you just turned off the router or the electricity or whatever.
Our daughter was very angry for 10 or 20 minutes, but then
Okay.
Just got on with life.
it was okay, and they apologized.
She apologized.
Yeah, she apologized.
Wow.
After
Okay.
20 or 10 or 20 minutes, they came and apologized.
Didn't she only apologize because she was hoping that you would turn it back on? I mean, that's what I would have done when I was that age.
There's a question.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's no. It's again normal because when she was on internet, she was addicted. She was
Yes.
trapped. You
Yes.
know, in the
Yeah.
matrix, in the charging of her energy.
It's very
And after
easy to. Yes.
some short time, she was again in full energy level, and she understood all situations.
That's good. That's
She
that's very
understood
good that she understood it.
That
Yes.
was a time for sleeping or
Yes,
like that.
that's good.
Wow.
Very good.
So if you, it's a theoretical question. You have the magical time machine, right? You could go back and change some things. Is there anything that you would change, or would you just leave it as it is, or was? What do you think?
Probably yes. I would like to spend much more time with my daughter. But
Talking about daughters.
Cool.
but thanks my today's situation, I'm able to be with her much more now than before. So that's my solution. I know that time passes in one direction and
There's no magical time machine.
I don't believe in time machines.
Oh well, we have one parked in the laundry room, don't we?
Yeah, Will built a time machine, but it's not working at the moment.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not. Is it parked in the laundry?
Didn't you park it in the laundry? Up like on the, I saw it in the laundry the other day. I was looking for something in the laundry and I was thinking, just like, oh look,
there's a
time machine. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wondered where it went. Yeah.
Well, that's where it went.
I'd like to
Okay.
spend much more time with her because I would like to learn from her.
Yes.
Learning from your children. Wow,
Yes.
what a wonderful point.
I think they are our teachers, great teachers,
I agree with that.
because they know much more than me, than our
The best-
than us. Yeah.
The
Much more open, aren't they, to
Yes.
ideas and theories and thoughts and.
they can teach us about the
Creativity.
world, but
Like,
they
what was-
also
Sorry,
sorry.
sorry.
Continue.
Sorry.
The younger, the bigger teacher.
I
the
think
greater teacher.
I think the smallest ones teach us a lot about teach us a lot about ourselves. They might not point at things out in the world,
Yeah.
but they teach us a lot about ourselves. They show us, you got this wrong, Mom.
Yeah. I'm constantly horrified by the mistakes I make.
Like Will, like when
Pointed out by my kids.
you know how Will always comes with business ideas, right? And I just remembered today about one business idea that he had about half a year ago, when he said that we should open a restaurant, and the restaurant would have some special menu for poor people that would be for free. And he was like, so everybody could come and eat, and the rich people would pay, and the poor people would be able to eat for free.
Oh, excellent.
And I'm like, there you go.
Welcome to something called government and taxes. We still have to explain those things.
Anyway, but I thought,
Do you think the rich
Which is
people
answer
would
of your
want?
brain.
Do you
It's
think?
not on reality.
yeah.
Do you really think the rich people would want to eat in the same place as the poor people mate? That's what I would say.
Do you really think that the rich people would pay for their food and not pretend to be poor? Yeah, but you don't want
That's
to
a good point. I didn't think about that.
you don't want to say that. I mean, why are they rich, right?
Some
No.
of them have good ideas.
Some of them have good ideas.
And
That's
some
true.
of them
yeah.
Some of them do live by giving
And some of them know.
things.
Yes.
They know stuff. That's the
Exactly.
difference. They know stuff. I was thinking about the open mind, right?
Mhm.
I was thinking, like, when is the last time I sat at the kitchen table with some paints and painted something? And it's such a nice little creative,
Yeah.
sort of enjoyable activity to do.
Uh-huh.
And I was just thinking, I haven't done that
We could
in forever.
we could do that as a family.
All sit around the kitchen table and paint.
Yeah. Or we could do a little trip outside somewhere on a hill and take paints and papers and paint the hill or something.
I like the way the kids took chalk and they drew on the road out.
Yeah.
The entrance thing.
Yeah.
Those are nice things to do. It reminds people that there are kids here. I
Yeah.
think, because some people also forget about that as well, basically. But those are nice things. Those are nice things. Wow. So we've had a pretty in-depth discussion
Yes.
about quite a few things related to parenting today. No specific topics or advice, but if you check out the daily free mail email today, find we talked about being triggered yesterday.
Yes.
And so I put in some suggestions today about how to deal with your triggers and your emotions if you begin to lose control. So please check that out. It's well worth reading. I think it doesn't cost anything, and you might learn something, which is pretty cool.
Hopefully.
I hope that you've picked up something from our discussion. We'd very much like to thank Milan for finding the time to hang out with us on the balcony this evening.
Thank you very much for this nice view.
It's all very blue, isn't it? It's very blue behind us. It's not a blue screen. It's the real sky. And hey, you might have seen the video on Monday when Milan and I went out to one of the local hills and we discovered Disneyland at the top and giant pencils and had
Now this is an Everland.
yeah.
Neverland.
Never. This is never. Slovakia is Neverland, right? And there's a couple other videos that I posted related to that. Really nice one of the nature with the flowers and the bees and things. It was just kind of nice. It was just nice to remember that those things exist when you surf on the internet on a daily basis and you see nothing but retarded pictures and people being violent to each other, which is a lot of what's on the internet right now, which is pretty horrible. So remember the nice things in life. What's that? It's a song in The Sound of Music. Is that one? These are a few of my favorite things. Da, da, da.
Yes.
Yeah. So remember your nice things. Remember the nice things. Remember your favorite things. And,
Remember that brown paper packages tied up with strings.
These are a few of my favorite things. Da, 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 da. They're great.
Oh, dear.
Wow. Go watch The Sound of Music. Great musical.
And My Fair Lady.
I go with My Fair Lady as well.
And go watch the History of the Tiger.
History of the Tiger is all our recommendations.
And that's the homework.
Go watch the musical episode of Once Upon a Time. We're lost now. We're lost. We hijacked the conversation a little bit, but we're lost because we finished Once Upon a Time watching it, and we've got nothing to watch now.
Well,
and Star Wars Rebels. We finished Star Wars Rebels series, and we finished watching Once Upon a Time.
maybe we'll finally get some work done then, eh?
It was good relaxation.
It was good relaxation, but I'm really.
It was nice to have a little
My
bit
business is really missing that time right now. So now I have to catch up.
Business.
Yeah,
Oh,
business.
Oh my gosh. Right. If you picked up something interesting from our conversation today, let us know. Remember, you can write questions into the chat. We'll deal with them tomorrow. We'll look at it. We'll respond. We'll keep in touch with you. And please keep in touch with us. This is a test for 1 month. We're going to test out parenting ideas, parenting issues. We're going to try and connect with as many people as possible. We're going to see how far we get. We're going to see what happens and then review it after 1 month. And hopefully build something for the future. Hopefully connect with people. Hopefully find other people who are working with parents out there, trying to educate about peaceful parenting, trying to educate about how there's more than one way to do everything, trying to keep all the doors open, trying to learn from real experiences of real people, and keeping everything free in terms of freedom and liberty, especially for the kids. Right, the future is very much, the future very much belongs to them, and I think I've said this before, that we're in our lives, I think we're borrowing time from our children. There's something to think about it. We're borrowing time from our children when we live. So if you've got any articles, you can put articles in the post articles for us to check out as well. We're very happy with that. So link up and keep in touch. The website is www.nsa-slovakia.com. We're also on Pinterest. There's the Facebook page. There's the Academy of Language Therapy and Life Coaching. There's a YouTube channel. That's like a marathon, isn't it? It just goes on and on and on. Somebody tell him to shut up!
Just shut up already.
Shut up already.
Okay.
Okay, so thank
We're happy to see
thank
you.
you for being here as always. And
Yes.
Get my arm over here. Thank you very much for coming and joining us. Has it been okay for you? We didn't...
Absolutely great.
Absolutely great.
Good.
Super cool.
Good.
we'll get you back then in the future to comment on our parenting
Kind of thing.
kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, we'll be back
See you
tomorrow.
later.
Take care, guys, and enjoy things wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
Bye.
Look at that! Look at the blue background. Isn't that wow? That sky.
Press it.
You know, it's become a shadow.